What do you do when you're all out of heavy gauge or medium gauge or even light gauge and all you have is this super thin, flimsy gauge? You can't possibly make a piece out of this little teeny tiny itty bitty thin wire. Well, now you can. Well, now you can. This is 26 gauge, incredibly thin. Silver plated copper, probably, I think. But it's so thin. I'm going to take about 3 feet of it and cut it off. 3 feet of it, and I'm going to take this one little coin shell bead. It's called a coin shell. It's about the size of a coin, and it's mother of pearl. So pretty. It's very iridescent. Very nice. I love mother of pearl or shell. It's so iridescent naturally. Anyway, it has a hole drilled straight through it. It's a very thin hole, but we're going to take this 26 gauge and put the two ends together. All right, so we have about 3 feet of it, right? About a meter. That's it. Okay, put the two ends together. Pull it tight. Pull it tight all the way down till you find the loop at the end. Pull that tight. And now pretend this doubled wire is one wire, and treat it as one wire. And that's how we get a little bit more of a thickness to it. And then this is this particular coin shell is about, I think it's about 18 millimeters. It's a little under 2 centimeters. You can get smaller ones. I like this size for this, but this particular pattern would work with some of the smaller ones too. So we're going to put it through like that. Make sure it goes through, because sometimes these holes are drilled not so well. So test it first, but it should eat two strands of 26. I bet you could even fit 3 or 4 strands of 26. 26 is so thin. So bring it to the middle of your double wire, right? And how do you tell it's in the middle? Bring the two ends together again. And just, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't want to crimp the wire just yet, but just kind of get it close to the middle, okay? Now, crimp, and make a beautiful little loop at the top. You could do this just with the natural curve of the wire. If the wire is a little bit stiffer, or if you're not used to this, you can take your round nose pliers and get down to the fattest part of them, and you can kind of roll it, get it nice in there, right? Good. Yes. Just roll it, get it nice. And then take this wire. This is a pattern I've done a gazillion times, but some of you are new, and it's just fun to watch sometimes. And we're going to fold it over like this, get a nice curve coming around like that. And then we're going to take this one and fold it up, have a nice curve coming the opposite way. They're kind of chasing each other. And then pick somewhere where you want your swirl to be. I like to be at kind of the middle bottom. So wherever you want your swirl, that's where these two, you want them to cross. Gently cross each other like a handshake. See, go one side and then the other side. One side and then the other side. Just gently. See how that goes? Now, if you want these two strands to show nicely, keep pressing it flat so that you get the two strands showing up. Gently. I'm pressing it. Come around. See that? Gently. See, it moves a little bit. You can do a really tight swirl. I like an open swirl that leaves a little bit of space around it. Gently. Also gently. You'll become so good at gentleness after this that you'll be able to cradle baby ladybugs, and their mothers won't even mind. They'll hand them over to you gladly and say, "Please, take this child out of my hair for a few hours. I need some rest. I need to go drink some aphid milk and relax." So you go around as many times as you feel good about it. I feel good about this many times. This, I didn't count how many times it is, but it looks good. And then I'm going to bend these two over here. Now you can or cannot do this next step. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. But I didn't want this curve to come all the way off of the stone. So I'm going to pull it back a little and tighten my top loop by doing a 180 twist like that. That makes it more secure. You can always do that to a loop if you want. It makes the loop a tiny bit smaller, but it makes it really secure. Anytime you're wrapping anything anywhere, that's an option. Now we're going to fold these over in the back, and so that we keep them kind of strong, we're going to flip them right here. Do one twist like that. That'll help them hug the stone better in the back so it doesn't move around so much. Then we're going to come back out the other side, right about midway, right about same area. They separated and folded over. We're going to fold them back over the other side like this. And sometimes you need a few fingers to hold everything in place because it's like slipping all over the place. That's okay. And we're going to bend it. They want to slide all over. You put it where you want it to go. Now I want to get a nice curve curving back up to the top, so I'm going to curve it first. I'm going to bend it like that. I'm going to over curve it. Sometimes you want a nice curve. You want to overdo the curve and then back up a little bit. So you overdo the curve like that. And then you back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it up. And then come together like that. Press them tight. Make sure there's still, these strands will kind of try to flip over each other. You want them side by side because that looks the prettiest, I think. I mean, you don't have to have them side by side, but I just think that looks good. So bring them together like this, gently. Now we have 4 strands. Look at that. You see? And you take these 4 strands, gently come around. This is like delicate weaving. It feels so nice. Gently come up. That's not right. They're folding over each other again. See, look at that. They always try to do that, and I tell them you can't. You guys have to stay where I put you. There we go. There we go. You get a nice wall of thin, thin, thin if you don't let them fold over each other the wrong way. See that? And we gently wrap it, and we stack this on top of the last. Look how pretty that comes out. And then we stack it again. Look at that. Now we have 8 strands around there. And right about this time, I think it's good time to finish it. Right? We get our nice cutters that somebody gifted to us. It was so kind of them. We get right in there, cut it halfway across the loop so we can tuck those 4 strands in. Boom. There they go. See that? Sometimes if you didn't cut quite enough, you can go back and cut just a little bit more. Just enough. Close your eyes because it could shoot it at your face. You don't want to get a piece of wire stuck in your eye. It's a bad thing. Or make sure you're wearing safety glasses or regular glasses. Now I'm just going to tuck all 4 of these in at the same time. You ever try to tuck in 4 children to bed at the same time? Well, it's not quite that hard, but they are putting up a little bit of a fight. They're kind of rolling around, but you just gently, going in a diagonal, we're pinching, and get all 4 of them tucked. Check your wire in the front, make sure it's not moving too much. Make sure it's straight, just the way you want. Now here's a fun option. See these? I've done this in the past. These strands, you can separate them like this, and you can make 4 strands coming out like that, and it looks really pretty. And you could do it same down here. And separate them with your fingernail very gently. See that? Look at that beautiful tapestry. Now you can even separate these more till you can't even tell that they were 2 separate strands at one point. You just get 4 even. But in this particular case, I want to keep these more together because I like that look. So I'm going to keep them more together. I want to put a little more of a bend into that. There we go. Push these back together. Get back together, guys. It's like a reunion. You're not going to be a happy quartet. You're just going to be 2 couples. Sorry, not doing quadruple dating. It's not a double date. It's just 2 couples going to 2 separate restaurants, and you just got to live with that. Okay? Now, get yourself some pretty little jump rings and a dainty little chain. And you're ready to go out for a night on the town.